Okay.
Yep.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Unsigned Berlin podcast. Today we have Lucie and Jack. And they have a song that's going to be released on November 24th called Here I Go Again, written by Lucie and also performed by Lucie, but also produced by Jack here. And so let's just jump right into some questions about Lucie's background. I already know a little bit because we're roommates, but like when did you start writing, Lucie, and how did that start for you? Like how young were you when you started writing?
I think the first song I wrote was with 8, actually. It was like a hate song about how much I hated school. And I wrote and performed it with Alina, the friend that was here over the weekend. And we like made flyers and handed it out in like our neighborhood and then performed it in the basement. And that's how it started.
Nice. That's super cool. And then also like, I mean, we've come kind of a long way from like putting up flyers with you having an angry song. Now this song is pretty vulnerable. Can you tell us like how that was for you writing it? And
Yeah, sure. I like started writing it, I think, just when I moved to Berlin, and I like started living with you guys, and it was kind of a song that took a long time to like form, I feel like. And then I didn't have like a clear vision. I started writing the lyrics and the guitar to it. And then I met a violinist at the open mic, the Donau one here in Berlin. And I like asked him if he wanted to play something on the song because I had the vision. It was like really cool if we would have strings. And so he played a part on it, and then we like asked another violinist that then wrote the whole parts, Christoph Mürkis. Shout out. And then I sent Jack the demo, which was I think like last year, probably around that time.
How long was it from when you started writing it to when you sent me that demo?
I think probably 2 months or something, but not that long. Okay, it was fine.
Yeah.
But you sent the demo last year, so it's been a long time.
It was like a super long time. I feel like we had it ready after few months. Yeah. And then I just kept it to myself. I was like, nah, I don't feel like sharing it right now.
Where was it?
I think, I really don't know. I feel like, first of all, of course, it's also kind of scary to like release your first song.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I feel like that's like a big step. And then, I mean, the topic is really, it's like a big topic. And I felt like I couldn't really let go of the whole, like, everything that the song's about. So it's like releasing it feels like letting go of that person too. And so it's like, do I want to? But yes, I do. So that's why I decided to release it now.
Were you also waiting to have other songs that you'd been working on a little bit stockpiled so you can do more of a release like over time?
Yeah, I have like a plan, totally. Yeah. The plan is to release the next one in February probably, and like keep on writing. I have a few other ones I really want to.
Also working with Jack?
Yes, actually. I was just thinking about it today because we were rehearsing for a gig or like open mic gig we have tomorrow.
We had last week.
Exactly, we had last week. Yes.
You missed it, guys. I'm sorry.
And we're gonna play a song of mine, and well, yeah. I was thinking about. But we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't know about it yet, but I would love to.
And you're playing guitar for that? Or?
Yes, and we'll see what else.
Yeah, maybe bass, but I think we let go of that idea, right? I know we're not talking about the performance. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Yes. You're playing guitar on the track as well? Or is there, is there guitar on the track? Have you got strings on it? Is there also
on this
guitar?
one? No, it was one takey achy. Just playing the guitar.
One takey.
Heidi Kua.
Nice. That's a nickname for Heidi Kua.
For a really good guitarist.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So cool. So this is like the first time you're going to be uploading to multiple streaming platforms. This is like your first song, and you also have cover art for this, which people will see. What was the inspiration for that?
Actually, she lives in that street here.
No way.
Figured.
The one with
Who does?
has
The photographer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
No
Which was
way.
kind of a weird coincidence. But yeah, well, it's two hands reaching out to each other.
Exactly.
And I feel like, it's what the whole song is about too. It's like the feeling like I can't kind of reach someone and, really, want to be with that person, and it just didn't work out. So it's like kind of, that's what the picture is standing for. I don't know if you can see it, because people have been telling me that it looks like a face. So, I was like, we'll see what you say to it. But I feel like it's pretty obvious that it's hands.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
Really?
We should
Pre-save it, Jack.
Pre-save it. Oh, I already
Yes,
have.
because then you would see the cover art.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
but I just wasn't wearing my glasses, so.
The depth perception is.
It's difficult sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can pre-save it in the description. We'll have all the info and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I feel like I've seen the whole evolution of this song, especially from the time, because there's a line in the song about hearing. I don't want to spoil anything, but I know this so well, and it's a line about hearing this song, like the song on the radio that you would always hear with that one person. And then there's like all of the photography, like the photo shoot for the cover. It's just so weird having to like ask you about it when I've seen it so close up. But is that also how you feel, Jack? Like knowing about the song, like, I don't know, for being with you for so long, I don't know. Is it kind of weird? Maybe this is a weird question. Never mind.
Well, I don't know. I listened to the song again for the first time in months.
Yeah, like digging it out of the...
And like listening to it again, it's like, damn, I know every single word to this song. I feel like I've had this with me now for my whole fucking life. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. This is the first time we're deciding, so yeah. Go with yes.
You're the first one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, but it feels like
My whole
you're almost
flipping life.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
now I'm hearing it again. I'm like, wow.
You also get to like switch perspective a little bit, where now you're listening to it as the listener instead of
Big
spending
time,
that time
big
where you're
time.
like in it.
I'm not listening to it and going, what the fuck is that? please put in like goofy beat.
Yeah,
We will.
Or like just something.
Yeah, we totally will.
But what was I even saying?
You're not listening to it being like listening to the mix and
Yeah.
stuff.
When I'm listening to it now, I'm not going, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Ringing noise from the guitar track and what? I don't even have to care about that because it's finished.
And it's too late now anyway. It's uploaded.
Too late.
Yes,
going.
that's true.
And
It's
there's
just
no
weird.
ringing sounds from the guitar tracks either.
No.
Because it's beautifully
Because
produced.
it's well
Boom.
mixed.
It's super well mixed.
And,
Yeah.
Did
Do
you
you
mix it
feel like-
yourself as well? Or? Yes.
Oh.
But we got a friend of mine, Alan Cook, to master it. Did a great job. He did it while he was traveling from Prague to Berlin. Like,
Well,
he managed to get this mastered, and it sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
This dude's just
cool.
a natural.
10 out of 10.
Shout out Alan F Cook.
Also,
Instagram.
in the description, we'll keep everything. Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Well, also, let's maybe talk about the performance of the Here I Go Again song. So the first time you ever performed this was back in March. And that was kind of the first time for you performing in front of a large audience. And I remember that day was like this really heavy day. And it was a big deal for you.
Totally.
How did that feel? And then how do you feel like that compares to the show you played last week? And your ability to express yourself through your music in front of an audience. Is it more natural now?
Nah.
No?
I feel like it's getting.
Because it was already so natural to begin with.
I mean, it feels natural when you're in the audience.
I feel like, no, not at all. I feel like it will take like about 100 performances more for me to be like super chill about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that performance was so nice. It was so cool. I was freaking out before. Like the 3 days before, I was literally losing it. I was like, this is it. Can't.
I remember it because we were talking on the day as well, and you were like, I'm so nervous, I'm gonna die up on that stage. And then I found out you were opening, and I was like, oh God, love her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then
It worked out.
It went really well.
It really
I
did.
couldn't tell that you were nervous at all.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's also it needs that kind of pressure, and then it works out fine in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it always goes. And that is how it went with the gig last week too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That like the pressure, you know,
Remember
that
it well.
And it went
works out
amazingly.
so well. No,
Yeah.
I think it just takes a lot of practice and time, and I would probably need like that size of a gig at least once a week or something to get really used to it.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of like nervousness before, and then it turns out to be all right. And like,
Do you find that harder with a big venue like that versus the like Donau's 112 is relatively small and kind of intimate? Do you find it easier with the intimate venues?
I don't know. I feel like what was really hard was the other artists, that they were so good, and I knew them, and I was like,
Yeah.
great competition. And then with like smaller venues, it's a 50-50 chance if it's going to be really good people, or just it just could be like people like saying poems or something.
Yeah.
But
Dang.
Slam
Whoa.
poetry.
but yeah, I think it doesn't make that much of a difference to me. I think I get nervous with whatever venue.
Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of people's reactions, you also got to test the song out a little bit when you went home for the holidays.
Yes.
And it wasn't like not really official, but you could show people and get, some responses. How do you think it's going to be received differently at home versus in Berlin home?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just kind of weird because everyone, like, not everyone knows the story, but it's pretty obvious what it's about, and they've been there, and it's just kind of like, this is what it's about, and they listen to it, and they're like, whoa, I was there. So I think for people here, it's, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but just have a different relationship to it. So I feel like friends at home know what it's about, and they like it, and here they do too, but they just weren't there.
It might be easier to have a genuine emotional connection to it if you don't know what it's about.
I think so too, actually.
It's maybe a good thing, maybe, yeah.
No, I agree. I think it can be kind of uncomfortable for some people, like listening to it. They're like, a lot of information.
Is this the first song you've done like that, where you've shown it to people you know and everything?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, so that's also a weird experience.
Yeah, also because it's pretty obvious what it's about. Like, people that know me know what it's about. So it's different than with upcoming releases where it's not that obvious. But still, really, really cool. And I'm super excited. And I got good feedback overall, which is
always nice.
Huh?
You better have.
Better have.
It's also a super transformation song. It's like it took work. It was kind of like hard, it took a lot of experience in life and things. So how do you feel like you want your other songs that you release in the future to be different? Like, do you want them to feel like you're more established, or do you still want to maybe throw in a few songs that really took that like soul, like wrenching, like heartbreak,
Yeah, I think for now I'm good.
Yeah.
For now I think I'll stick to like the not as heartbreaking. And but we were talking about this because I feel like it's such an old, like it's so much time that passed. And it feels like a totally different version of myself that was writing that song. But throughout the process, like, because we had the song all over and we were like listening to it on repeat throughout this whole year. So it feels like kind of it's an old version of my artistic self, but kind of not. It's just, but I feel like after the song, I'm ready to let go of this and like step into new waters.
Yeah. It just feels like a time capsule.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That we've already opened, but then other people are going to open it and it's going to be the now. It's not going to be a time capsule for them. So I think that's just kind of cool. And
it's so interesting. Yeah. I'm so excited how everyone's going to receive it. And like, it's going to go.
Me too.
Did you feel like you had to emotionally connect to the song to produce it really well, or were you like kind of separate a little bit from the story and just focusing on like the music?
I had the easiest job because the demo that Lucie gave me, everything was done. Like you had everything arranged, everything produced already.
But it was just the first half of the song. It was just verse and chorus.
Okay, whatever.
I feel like
you had all the ideas ready, and even when we were in the sessions, you just knew what you wanted. So
that helps.
Super easy for me. I didn't have to do much. connecting with it. Obviously, it's a very beautiful song, very easy to connect to. So I feel like I did, but I don't know if it was necessary.
Yeah. How is working with strings? Surely that's difficult to put together.
So good. But Christoph's also, it's like, he's insane.
Total pro.
Mm-hmm.
The violinist was...
He was in there and he was like, you play a few takes and then he'd just go, we'd listen back and he'd go, oh, that was slightly flat, and he'd play the whole thing again.
Mm-hmm.
And like, wanted it done right. I was like, okay, go for it.
Yeah.
But still, he would be like, yeah, like put some melodyne on this. I feel like
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
sound quite right. What?
Mm.
Christoph. Hello.
That's also kind of that thing where their speciality is hearing those like really minor
Totally.
tuning differences.
Yes. And so I felt there was a bit of pressure on me then to make sure it was good takes we were getting,
Mm-hmm.
sounded good and everything, because I knew he held himself to this standard.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be apparent in the song, and I think it is.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
The string section is the prettiest.
Sounds
Beautiful.
good.
It does sound great.
Okay, kind of a left turn, but this is for Lucy. And we've talked about this briefly in the past, but I want to hear your answer now with a microphone and on a podcast. Would you ever write a song in German and be a German artist and make that transition, or do you want to keep all your songs in English? I know you mentioned the thing about writing in English and how it feels different
Totally.
emotionally.
Yeah. We were just talking about it because the first song I wrote when I was 8 was German, and that went pretty well.
The anger song?
Great feedback from my neighborhood. So, no, I am considering it. I think it is easier to write in your mother tongue, I guess. Just word-wise and finding rhymes and stuff. It just goes off smoother. But I feel like I want to reach a bigger audience. Like I don't, and also, well, it has changed, but I used to not like the German music at all. I was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of this.
Right.
But now that it's changed, yeah, I think maybe I should do like a German alter ego or something.
Well, it also doesn't have to be a separate thing. It can be tied in together, and you get, I think it's more and more common for artists to have songs either in mixed languages or in foreign languages, even though that's not their main thing. And people still listen to them because it's not the expectation for something to be in your native language anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
As much.
Yeah, I should try it. I should think about it. Because I haven't written anything in German since I was 8. So I
Wow.
should go back to it, yeah.
One and done.
It was so iconic, you could just never go back.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you should just record it.
Do you want me to?
Ja, ich hasse Schule.
Yeah, it's a great song, no, but I don't want to spoil it now. Because it's so good.
It's so good.
Maybe this is going to be the song I'm going to
It would just shake the room. Like
Honestly,
it would just rock
yes,
the podcast.
It's just like bars.
Yeah.
Bars over bars.
But you also mentioned that writing in English makes you feel a little bit safer. Like, not that it's something to hide behind, but it's just a little barrier from the real emotions a
Totally.
little bit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. It's also like if someone will say that my songwriting's shit, I could be like, yeah, well, what can I do?
What can you do?
I'm not English, you know?
But also the person that it's about is German, which I can
Exactly.
say. That's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But so like that story in your head is written in German, but the story that is in everybody's ears, it's just so cheesy, is in English. So what an interesting separation, but still really cool. And
Yeah. Are you working with people in other languages, or do you feel like you needed to be in English to get a good idea of...
It's a fly.
yeah, sure, Jack.
That's the reaction to it.
Ja, she found
to get a good idea of like what the song's about and the sound of like accents or stuff like that?
No, I love the idea of people singing in their mother tongues. I feel so bad all the time when I speak English over here, because we are in Germany.
Yep.
I speak pretty crap, pretty
That's
slim
not
Deutsch.
true.
It's been improving.
That's
It's improving, but and I do feel bad when I speak English, and I think it's crazy that there are German people
Like
choose
you.
to sing in a different language just to appeal to
Us.
idiots like me, because I refuse to learn your language. And
You should produce
know?
the song, you know? You should
I love
German
it.
song.
I've got a friend here who is from Spain, sings all her songs in Spanish, doesn't write in English. And
Would you do that? You can speak Spanish as well, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about
I would love to. I would love to, but I think I don't feel comfortable enough in Spanish.
Because of your like ability with the language?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you would write in German before you would write in Spanish?
Totally. Even though I love the language so much more. Like I would love to write in Spanish instead of German, but I feel more comfortable in German. And I feel like every Spanish person would be like, yeah, like, what is this grammar?
Oh God.
What is this?
Oh my gosh.
We should record the Schule song.
yeah,
You know what?
Yeah.
I want to produce it.
right now.
Yes.
And then you can get your German school-oriented vocab.
Boom.
It's perfect.
This is perfect.
Boom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Besser geht's nicht.
You know, Jack and I were talking earlier today. We're like, or Jack said to me, he's like, I wonder when Lucie's just gonna start speaking German. Just
Here
gonna
we
go
go.
up and yeah, here we go.
And that's because sometimes you forget that I don't actually speak German. You just
Oh, she forgets
Send-
me
yeah.
too.
you just
Yeah,
send
yeah,
me
yeah,
voice
yeah.
notes fully in German, and I'm like,
Yeah, but you just react to it in full German too. Like you.
I thought you were gonna
answer.
say you just react to it in full Irish.
Also, yes, I've also gotten some Irish voice messages.
Very.
actually, yeah.
Yep, I did.
Mhm.
Is your Irish improving as much as his German?
No, no,
I mean-
definitely not.
Yeah.
Bejer.
The accent.
Yeah.
The accent is.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have to do visuals as well for the singles you're doing? Or are you happy with releasing them just as songs and not trying to push that?
Really, like what?
Like
visuals?
videos and kind of accompanying things for social
Yeah.
media and stuff like that?
Yeah, totally.
Are you doing
Yeah,
stuff for this song?
No, not for this one, but
Okay.
for the next
Well,
one.
we'll do something.
Maybe
Yes.
a lyric video would be super cool because I think the lyrics really matter on this one.
Yeah, that's
I just
true.
Mhm.
love the lyrics.
German lyric video.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think we will do some stuff because we
You have some nice camcorder stuff.
Exactly.
Of, yeah, I like
Let's
your
talk about this.
Let's talk about
Yes.
camcorder.
camcorder only.
Yeah. So Jack has a really cool way of documenting this chapter of our lives and his friends.
And
I mean, you
sound, too.
said something about time capsule earlier.
Oh.
Every time I show somebody these videos, so it's a tape. So what's it called? 8mm tape that goes into the camcorder from, I think it's the late 90s, and it looks terrible, and it sounds terrible, which is really cool.
It does. You feel nostalgic watching it, even though you know
Everyone's
the
like,
video from like a week ago. and you're
I
like,
feel
oh,
like I already want to feel nostalgic about this, and
Yeah.
literally you just filmed this 2 minutes ago
Yeah.
and are showing me it back now.
Pretty
So I think it's funny. I think it's funny that
Yeah, it works.
we have that now.
It's a kind of
Yeah.
cool trademark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've got enough camcorder footage.
Get some from the performance,
I
which
actually
happened
filmed your
now
whole
last week.
first performance. We have
Yes.
video
Yes.
video proof
Oh,
that you
And
were
the sound is so
cool as a
great.
cucumber.
Yeah.
She was. That's
I
you
was
know,
a cucumber.
that's how I would describe her that night. Like
Cool
up
as a
on
cucumber.
stage. Cool as a cucumber.
Are there cooler fruits? It's a
Smash.
vegetable, but that's fine.
Smash.
No pass, smash.
Yeah.
Just smash.
Smash.
Smash that cucumber.
Smash Viani.
Oh my god. Sometimes like our actual selves are like creeping in. Yep. You know, the professionalism just like gone. Yeah.
That's okay.
Absolutely gone.
Professionalism.
What is
Did you
that?
see the first episodes?
Dude.
It's very professional.
A soup. This is wow. Look at you. Sure.
Stand by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question. So, or maybe half question, half comment. So, like with you guys in the process of recording, it was pretty scattered also too. I mean, you were renting rooms, you were renting the studio, working at Jack's house or these places. Was that a difficult thing for you, do you feel like, or did that help kind of bring it all together in the right way?
How do you feel about it?
I mean, this was one of the first songs that I worked on with somebody else.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really surprising.
that
Considering
either.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's wow.
This is
Didn't
one of
notice
my first songs I worked on with somebody else. You came to me, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember we weren't really that close when you came to me.
We
I
barely
also-
knew you. I remember you're like, I was like,
I was also thinking about that night. It was after class, and
Yeah. We were just both outside the building, and then
it was kind of odd.
I was like, oh, I thought she didn't like me.
I remember. Yes, that's true.
oh, hey.
I also thought I didn't like you.
Well, now she knows she doesn't like me.
Yeah, but then it obviously changed.
Yeah.
I feel like, do I remember it wrong where you were like, I think I'm going to ask Jack to work on this song?
Yes,
I think-
exactly.
yeah, you were like, I think I'm going to ask him. I was like, yeah, sure.
And I felt like, it was like the one, and you passed me, and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do it now.
This is how this is.
like asking
This is
someone
like a
out.
glimpse into Lucy's mind. This is
Honestly,
like, she's like, okay,
No joke. Yes,
I'm gonna.
100%.
Yeah.
So that means you were right. You did this song before your last release, which was with Roisin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was
Damn.
Way before. Very before.
both the first two sessions, which were the bulk of the recording, was in the first two sessions. We got everything done so
So
good.
early.
Yeah,
Like we really did it well.
that's
Mhm.
true.
I've had sessions have not gone as well as that,
Yeah.
even after that.
It
But
was crazy.
yeah, I mean, what was the question again?
Also,
Just to
like,
comment on Roisin's single coming out a long time ago, and you're working on that more recently.
and how
but-
it was to be like with the
The
different
scattered
studios.
studios.
Yeah.
Which was, I remember it being kind of like hard to set up the stuff in for a studio.
Yeah,
one
I
or
wasn't
two.
as slick with it. I wasn't.
No, but also it's just also not easy. I think to adapt to a new studio every time, because we were not always in just one studio. It was like changing,
Yeah, true.
and then we had like a pretty like not a good schedule. Like we only had like 2 hours, or for example, like right, and we were working on several songs. Because remember that one time Chris was coming in and he was supposed to record some stuff for your song.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we have 2 hours, and it was just
We got
I
it
remember
done.
that.
we got it done.
Yeah, you did.
It was 10 out of 10. But it was einfach, ganz einfach haben wir das alles gespielt.
But it was a serious learning experience for you too, Lucy, because you hadn't really recorded much in a studio setting at all before this, and then you hadn't recorded with many artists. So it's amazing how amazing it just turned out so well, considering that it was learning for the both of you.
Definitely
Super.
was. It was a lot of fun. I'm really grateful for the whole time.
Are you starting any new ones now?
Yes, I am.
Are you trying to get them done faster, or are you
I
happy with kind of letting
This
it
one was
go?
done fast enough.
That's the thing. Yeah, totally.
It was done. Yeah, it was finished.
I feel like it was done super fast. I
Right.
just decided to keep it. I was like,
To be fair,
Mhm.
you know, you're right. It wasn't really a summary song.
And
Yeah,
there
that's
are
also a
right
good
times
point.
for things as
That's
well,
true.
and trying to push something out just because you have it isn't.
And
Usually
there's no
right.
point rushing it as well. I think you were good to hold strong there.
yeah. Also,
Yeah.
because I wanted to release it way sooner than I chose a different name. It was just like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's kind of messy. I should have thought about it more, and then like,
Well, it's worked out, and now it's on its way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah.
I mean, you definitely have to remove your feelings a little bit too. 'Cause you had to
Totally.
let that go. Like, I knew about that, and I had to kind of get through that and live this new life in Berlin and have these new friends and new people and new circles. And then you've settled in it, and now you can like
Let go.
let it
It's
go.
been weird. Even in the recording sessions, I was so like in having to bring all of this up again. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of not super nice.
Mhm.
And I underestimated how much, like how big of a deal it is to release a song in general, I guess. But also this one, of course.
Yeah, you really started with an easy one.
Yeah, I
True.
feel the exact same way.
But also-
it is
Yeah.
a song. It is, such to, yeah.
Bit of a right time, but something to it's hard. Why did you guys both move to Berlin? 'Cause I presume you have different reasons coming from very different places, and what's the kind of story behind that for both of you? Who goes first? Yeah.
For me, it was music. For you too, probably, right? No?
But why Berlin and not? I mean, from Ireland, it made more sense maybe to go to Dublin or to London,
Yeah, that's true.
and then
Well, good question. I was looking at moving into Dublin for a long time,
hmm
and how can I make a comparison? Should I even make a comparison? I could have lived in Brandenburg. Been paying like $750 to $800 per month.
Right.
For a room as big as this space we're all in right now. Like, stop at the end of the table.
Yeah.
And have to get like terrible. No offense, Dublin. Terrible public some offense, Dublin. terrible public transport. Would be reliant on that. I was studying back home, and I felt like I wasn't in the right sort of college. I wanted to just focus on music. I was studying music technology and psychology. Nice one.
So sorry.
I was studying music technology and psychology, and
I'm so sorry, guys. It was
It's
my best friend.
fine.
She never calls me.
I thought it was your mom. We should have just
should have got around.
Yeah.
I should have. Welcome.
So you're studying
I was studying psychology and
really.
yeah,
the music
know that.
technology and psychology.
music technology and psychology.
So what's the
How?
what does that entail?
It was like two completely different things.
Oh, okay, right.
And I was having to write essays for psychology
But at the same university.
at the same university. It was part of the same course.
Like a dual degree.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of half-assed in both of these, and I was like, okay, I'll commit to one.
Yeah.
I committed to some music, so I came over to Berlin, just music, and yeah, Berlin. Well, sorry to finish that thought because I got distracted and totally sidetracked. Why Berlin?
Yes. Yeah.
Cheaper than Dublin.
Okay. Yeah.
So much cheaper.
Valid reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I could still
Study music.
study music and yeah.
And you?
Yeah, for me it was music, and just because it was the closest to home,
Yeah.
the only
Closest hub. And
yeah. And I think there was like a comparable uni close to my place, but it was not. Yeah, whatever.
So balance for music in Germany, more exciting place to be.
Exactly.
And, I mean, Hamburg's great as well, I think, but
Yeah, that's true. I was actually thinking about Hamburg too. I was like, yeah, definitely wanted to leave Wolfschlugen.
Shout
From the
out.
hood.
Neuhausen.
Neuhausen?
But not really.
Nah, niemals. Wolfschlugen war. Yep.
And you happy with the move? Are you looking at, do you want to stay here continuous and try to build your career here? Or are you trying to look at other places and trying to find where you can grow?
I really don't know. I feel like for now it's a good solution,
Yeah.
but not forever, I think. Like, nah. No. I love
How come?
Berlin, but also it's just so much. I feel like
Right. Need somewhere calmer.
the city is just like can be so ugly and horrible. And there's so many nicer places to live where you can also do music. So I feel like, yeah,
Like?
I'm still actually somewhere on the countryside and like have like a home studio.
I feel
You
like
really
that's
like the countryside.
Yes.
Like, and having the horses and
Horse,
stuff.
yeah, that would
Horse
be
girl.
so nice.
Your songs, I feel like, have such a pull from all of your different backgrounds. Like,
That is-
you have this more countryside, forest, spending time in the woods, biking everywhere, and then you have like the flamenco, like the dancers. Because I know in this new track, you're gonna have some like flamenco style like clapping in it. But I don't know, and your sense of rhythm kind of comes from that too. But it's just so funny how you choose like Berlin. It's kind of not harsh, but it's this really. It's
contrasting.
not for everyone, and
yeah.
somehow you've made it work, and really, like we've gotten a really cool group of people. But yeah, your songs just really pull from all these aspects of your life.
That's true.
It's so cool, and you can hear it too. So I wonder which song. Maybe this song is going to be more of the countryside song, and the next song is going to be more of the Spain song or something.
That is so true, actually.
Yeah, like
It's really interesting. I wasn't aware of this, but I think you're very right. It's like there's a kind of Wolfgang song, and the next one,
Yeah.
like Andalusian song. It's
yeah.
very interesting.
Can you talk a little bit more about your Spain childhood moments a little bit, like being in, like playing, because you also played in some bars
Yes,
or restaurants
exactly.
as a teenager,
Yeah.
and you did some dancing as like flamenco dancing as a kid.
Yeah. So I grew up in Andalusian, so Andalucía, Chiclana de la Frontera. Shout out to all the cities. And I went to like flamenco classes as a child and had guitar lessons, and that was super nice. And also, my neighbor was Niña Pastori, which is a super famous flamenco singer. I don't know if anyone knows her, but she's amazing. And I got to listen to her music.
Pastori.
Pastori. She's so great. She's so great. And she like had the best like flamenco guitarists there, and I listened to them. And that was, I think, very I think it still has an influence on music I say, but also of course like me as a person and as an artist. And then my dad lived on the Canary Islands, so I would go and visit him. And I stayed there for half a year in 2019. And I was working in bars and like singing and performing in bars to earn some money to finance the time there. And that was super nice. It was so nice, because it was just like you could play German songs and the German tourists would go off and like be super happy about it, and then you could also play like ballads or whatever, or Spanish traditional music. It was amazing. Very great time. And also all the Spanish people are just so nice and have this great culture of just music in Spain and food, of course, and all of it. It's just amazing. Yeah.
And did you get nervous when you would play in those bars, at the same amount of nervous as you were performing earlier this year?
Not really, but also because I have to say I mostly was kind of at least tipsy. Oh, we would like party and then, and then it would start. But maybe also because it was a different country in like a different city, and I knew I was just there for like an amount of time, and I would leave at some point, and I could basically do whatever and choose never to see anyone again.
So there was like an impermanence about it, where you can kind of be like, I could be whoever I want. I could perform and capture the room and then just leave. Yeah.
Also, because you also say that I think with every language you speak, you adapt to different like character traits and stuff.
Definitely. Yep.
So I feel like in Spanish, I'm like,
more outgoing, maybe.
Totally.
I could see that. Yeah.
So interesting when you think about it. Yeah. But I think
it's our code language. It has
that kind of sass. It's like,
it does.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the reason.
That's really, really great, Lucy. Yeah.
Jack, do you feel like, I don't know if you're connected to it, because I think it's relatively niche with the general population in the UK at least. I don't know if it's the same in Ireland, but with Irish music, thinking like traditional or folk or anything like that, do you feel like that has influenced your music at all, or is it something that you've never even paid attention to?
No, this is actually, what are you laughing for?
Appreciation for
What are you laughing for? It is some...
Like the jig, like Irish jig.
What's funny about that? It's my culture.
But really, do you...
It is something that I've thought about a lot. And I think, which is why I find it funny when people are like, so, stop.
When people are so flippant about it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually 1/8 Irish.
Oh no, because that's actually so true. Oh no, yeah.
Because like, I have a huge appreciation and like I love Irish music. And I would love to incorporate it as much as I could. So I find it really funny when people don't want to sing in their own languages. Sorry. It's okay. People don't want to sing in their own languages, or feel like I have a lot of friends who don't want to use their actual names as artists because they're too hard for an English-speaking person to understand.
Okay, yeah.
And I think we just have a different culture with it in Ireland. Like everyone wants to have... Or a lot of artists are very proud of having names that make English people go, what? But how do those letters make any sense to you? But it's so different to English.
So yeah, it's a different language. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to incorporate that as much as I could. But I feel that the stuff that I lean towards doesn't mix so well with like
Yeah.
folk. Well, I suppose this song actually.
So it's difficult to find space.
This song we used Selbridge native Damien Rice. Big ups. to
Oh
Rich.
yes,
For what? For
reference,
Like
right?
reference.
We referenced
Oh, okay, right.
Damien Rice. I'm a huge fan.
Mhm.
So I guess I got to incorporate it
Yeah,
into this song
that's cool.
with Lucy. That's
Mhm.
maybe what excited me so much about this song as well.
Yeah, sort of adds to
Without really
the.
thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I do think about, and I want to
Mhm.
do as much. I love listening to Irish jigs.
No, but it's a really beautiful language. It's Gaelic is like the official way to say it, or is it? How would you?
Well,
Okay, can we get
So-
I would like a lesson, please.
we have Irish or
Yes.
Gaeilge,
Okay.
which is the language from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Scots Gael or Gaelic. So
Oh.
everyone says Gaelic. Everyone thinks it's
Yeah.
all Gaelic, but
Ah, but
that's
it's
actually
not.
just in Scotland.
Okay.
And then there's Ulster Scots, which is like a mix of. It's in Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland only. Ulster. I can't believe I just said that, and I was recorded saying that.
We're gonna keep that in.
It's gonna be on one of the
Oh.
reels on Instagram.
So that's like a mix between the two.
Okay, good for. I just wanted to know that.
So
'cause-
you can just say Irish. Everyone's like
Mhm.
Gaelic. Am I saying it right? It's like no.
no, I was just wondering if that was the real thing, but it's not. So that's good.
Yeah.
I've been
I
saying
didn't
it
know
wrong.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people don't know it's a language. Julia didn't know it was a
Mm.
language.
My mom didn't know either.
Yeah.
That's where the
Yeah.
voice message came.
Well, I remember like Saoirse Ronan is like has the name Saoirse, and it's kind of. I remember being like, huh, and yeah, makes sense.
Mhm.
There's all the pronunciation, but it's a beautiful. It's
But see,
beautiful.
she could
It
have chosen
sounds-
to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if she went the way of some of my other friends who were like, no way will I use my own name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Somehow it makes sense in my head because it's such a beautiful. Like, there's like a real softness about the language.
But then I understand the branding side of it, where you're like, okay, I want people to, when they read this, know exactly what it sounds like, so they can talk about it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I get where they're
Yeah.
coming from.
Or even just in that how it's influenced the way you make music in general. Like I feel like you have this really like this more not folky sensibility, but like more organic, acoustic
Mhm.
based thing. I mean, I'm just kind of making random connections, but maybe there's some sort of link there, and like that softness, and then how it translates as a producer sonically as your identity. It's kind of maybe a thing.
There's something to that, I reckon.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. And did you always have this style that you liked and that you wanted to produce in, or yeah?
No, the first things that I was producing, it was actually like I've played guitar since I was 13, I think,
Mhm.
13, and I loved playing guitar. And I actually started off playing like with a friend of mine. We would always jam, play like rock music,
Mhm.
blues rock, and I didn't really like it that much, but it's what he wanted to play, and I just wanted to have someone to play with.
So you just tolerated it?
And he was my best friend, so we wanted to play together. So
Yeah.
I got into it, and then when we stopped playing together, I moved more towards like funkier stuff. you
Right.
know. I wanted to learn how to play everything off of Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. I wanted to learn every single song, and like,
Right.
and then from that I wanted to listen more to like Nile Rodgers,
Mhm.
who played guitar on that album, and I was like, oh fuck, I just love how he plays like the real choppy guitar stuff, real funky sounding.
Mhm.
And then that made me listen to disco more, and I feel like also hip hop as well. Like
Mhm.
I transitioned more towards that sort of thing, and I got really into this like neo soul,
Yeah.
you know, Tom Misch, Loyal Carner type beat,
Mhm.
this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So then these were the first things I was producing, was like hip hop beats, because as well I didn't really have anyone to work with, so I was doing it by myself.
Mhm.
And it was in lockdown, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make a beat. I'm just gonna make a beat and I'm gonna post it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
People will think I'm so cool. But it was a lockdown. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it for me, and it was like a big thing for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some nice feedback from it. But that's what I started off doing, was like hip hop beats, me playing guitar over like J Dilla drum patterns.
I
Yeah.
remember you came into like a demo listening session and you had like runners shorts on, like like the short one.
I know the show she's talking about.
yeah.
They're very notable.
Like that shorts.
And then there was like a beat-based song. It was really, really good. And I was like, I'd never heard any of your stuff before.
Yeah.
It's not what you expect as well. Yeah.
This man in biker shorts. God, it was super cool, but it was just super out of left field. Like I think
I don't see
didn't
how
know
the
you.
shorts are relevant.
But it was like in the middle of winter. It was so
Yeah.
cold.
It's not that cold here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cold.
Well, not
But I think we all moved north to Berlin, and you didn't. I'm not sure.
That's
Honestly, my geography is not good enough to know if.
a little bit south,
Right.
but it's not as cold here.
Yeah, you don't get the Atlantic
no.
and
That's
stuff over.
It's not as, what do you call it? It's not as
Cold.
There's no damp in the air.
yes, there
Yes.
is.
Not really.
No, but it's
Yes,
very,
all the
but it's
time.
very dry to me.
Very dry.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't feel it. Doesn't get into your bones.
Interesting.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's a good place to stop it. We've done 50 minutes.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to be a crazy one to edit.
I think there's some good content. in
There
it,
is
so,
some.
We've
yeah.
done 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Jesus. I was at 15. I was like,
No, 5-0. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of conclusion, or like maybe we can wrap
Is there
it up?
anything that you want to kind of
Yes.
make known? Obviously, there's the single dropping
Put all
on the
your-
24th.
Say the thing.
Do the thing into
what
the
the thing?
cameras. Yeah.
Do it,
Yeah.
Look into the
Yeah.
camera and say, you can
PSA.
find my song. Say the song.
You don't have to do it like that.
Say what your name
Find my song.
You don't have to do it like that either.
Should I say my Instagram too?
Yes,
Yeah,
please
Yeah,
do
so
it.
it will
All
be
of
in the
things.
description, but yeah.
All of it.
Okay.
Say like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, guys.
Oh, dear God.
Leave
Like-
a Google review on the podcast thing.
Oh.
Leave a
helps.
Yelp
Helps a
review.
lot.
Google
Sebastian's flat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so leave a Google review on the podcast. And then follow me, Jack, Mila, and Sebastian on Instagram. But
And
Most
Unsigned
importantly,
Berlin.
me.
But you probably already are if you're seeing this. So.
Yes.
damn. Yes. Do you want to say your your ads?
No, we'll put it all in. I think it's okay, and we'll.
And then also
Yeah.
pre-save the song.
Pre-save it, even though it's out now today.
Yeah.
No, we've got this comes out a week before the single drop. 'cause
Even though
been
it's
pushed
out
back.
next week, so
Next
do
week.
pre-save it.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yes. Go listen.
Here I go again.